What if everything you've ever experienced, the family you were born into, the people you've loved and lost, the struggles that seem to follow you no matter where you go, wasn't an accident? What if, long before you entered this world, before your first breath or even the formation of your body, your soul was fully awake and made a choice? Not just one, but many. According to ancient spiritual teachings, Buddhist, Hermetic, Hindu, even mystical Christian traditions, life isn't something that simply happens to us. It's something we, as eternal souls, participate in crafting. The soul, existing beyond time and form, chooses to incarnate in the physical world not because it must, but because it longs to grow. And growth, real transformation, only happens through experience, through emotion, through trial, through connection and loss. In the realm between lives, your soul resided in a state of unity, blissful, infinite, untouched by suffering or duality. But even in that perfection, there existed a subtle longing, the desire to know more deeply, to become more fully aware of itself. And so, you chose to descend into form, into time, into this life. But you didn't come here blind. Before you were born, your soul entered a space beyond the veil, a space some call the interlife. There, surrounded by wise beings and spiritual guides who knew you beyond ego or identity, you reviewed all that had come before. You examined past lifetimes, not with guilt or shame, but with clarity and purpose. Every choice, every action, every karmic thread still hanging loose was laid before you. And together with these guides, you began to shape the outline of the life you now live. You chose your family, not because they would be perfect, but because they would help you awaken. You selected certain gifts, talents, and even limitations, each one carefully aligned with the lessons your soul was ready to learn. Perhaps you chose a body that would test your resilience, or a background that would challenge your self-worth. Maybe you chose love that wouldn't last, so you could understand the nature of letting go. Or maybe, in this life, you came back to reunite with someone your soul has known across centuries. A soulmate, a teacher, a karmic partner here to remind you of who you are beyond this single lifetime. And here's the part that surprises many, even your hardships, those moments you wish had never happened, were chosen. Not as punishment, but as sacred opportunities. Pain in the physical world becomes one of the greatest tools for soul growth. A soul that longs to learn compassion may choose betrayal. One that seeks to learn forgiveness may choose abandonment. These choices are never made lightly, but always with the deep wisdom that what we endure can become what we transcend. But once the soul enters the body, the memory of these choices fades. This forgetfulness isn't a mistake, it's necessary. If we remembered everything from the beginning, we wouldn't experience anything in its fullness. The confusion, the longing, the uncertainty, all of it is part of the journey. And yet, something remains. A quiet knowing, a subtle inner compass that surfaces in dreams, in déjà vu, in the unexplainable pull towards certain people, places, or paths. As your life unfolds, you may start to notice patterns, certain types of people entering your world again and again, familiar struggles that seem to repeat, or uncanny synchronicities that feel far too precise to be mere coincidence. These aren't random. They're echoes of what your soul planned with others before you were born. Because you didn't come alone. In the space between lives, your soul connected with other souls. Some older, some newer, but all deeply intertwined in your journey. Together, you formed what many traditions call a soul group. These are the souls who travel with you across multiple lifetimes, showing up in different forms. A parent in one life, a child in another, a friend this time, a rival the next. Each relationship serves a purpose, each interaction a chance to remember something deeper about yourself. Before your birth, you made what are known as soul contracts, agreements between souls to meet again, to trigger growth, to offer love, to challenge, and sometimes even to break your heart. These contracts are sacred. Some are built on unfinished karma, debts that need to be balanced. Others are formed from deep soul bonds, love so powerful it refuses to fade across lifetimes. That's why when you meet certain people, there's an instant recognition, a feeling of, I've known you before. Because you have. But here's what's most beautiful, none of it is set in stone. Yes, Your soul designed a blueprint for this life. Yes, there are certain themes and key events you agreed to experience. But at every moment, you still have free will. You can pause, you can grow faster than expected, or take a different road entirely. Life, as designed by your soul, is less a script and more a stage, set with the perfect conditions, but always allowing you to improvise, to choose, to evolve. This is why awakening is so powerful. The more you align with your inner knowing, the more you begin to remember, not just mentally but energetically, who you are and why you came. You start to see beyond the veil. That sudden compassion for someone who hurt you? That might be the moment you realize they were part of your plan. The decision to walk away from a toxic cycle? That may be the exact lesson your soul came here to master. You begin to live consciously, not just as a personality surviving life, but as a soul fulfilling its purpose. Eventually, the soul matures. It stops seeking only to resolve karma and starts seeking to embody wisdom, to serve others, to become a light in the darkness for those still asleep. And in that maturity, a new possibility appears, the end of the cycle. You see, the soul doesn't reincarnate forever. When it has learned enough, healed enough, remembered enough, it becomes free, not because it escapes, but because it transcends. It moves beyond the wheel of birth and death, returning to the divine not as a lost child, but as a conscious being who has tasted both heaven and earth and now walks in harmony with all that is. So what happens after you die? The moment your body takes its final breath, your soul begins to rise. Not in a physical sense, but in vibration, shedding the dense layers of the material world and returning to the higher realms from which it came. There is no judgment, no punishment. Instead, there is a stillness, remembering. You are met, perhaps by familiar faces, perhaps by guides or beings of light you've known for lifetimes. And together, you begin what is called the life review. But it's not like watching a movie of your past. It's more intimate. You feel everything again, not just your emotions, but those of the people you touched. Every kind word, every painful silence, every moment of love or harm, it all returns not to shame you, but to show you, to teach you. You see, the afterlife is not the end. It's the classroom between classrooms, the space where souls rest, reflect, and recalibrate. And from that space, you begin preparing once again, asking, what did I miss? What do I still need to learn? Some souls choose to return quickly, eager to continue their path. Others stay longer, reflecting, healing, waiting for the right moment. But for the most evolved, those who have truly remembered who they are, another path opens. Freedom. This is what many traditions call liberation, enlightenment, moksha, or nirvana. It's the soul's graduation from the cycle of reincarnation. No longer bound by unfinished karma or unresolved wounds, the soul stands in its full light, whole, wise, and radiant. At this level, the soul may choose to remain in the higher realms, exploring realities beyond human imagination. Or, in the deepest act of compassion, it may return, not out of necessity, but out of love, to guide others still walking through the fire. These are the souls we recognize as great teachers: Buddha, Jesus, Kuan Yin, and countless unnamed mystics and healers who walk among us even now. They are reminders of what's possible. Proof that this life, this struggle, this longing you feel, it's not meaningless. It's sacred. It's part of the divine journey you chose. So the next time you ask, why is this happening to me? Pause. Ask instead, what did my soul want me to learn from this? Because your life is not an accident. Your pain is not a punishment. And your path is not a mistake. You are not just living a life. You are fulfilling a soul's mission. And when you begin to see your experiences through the eyes of your soul, not your fear, you stop fighting your path. You start flowing with it. And from that place, true transformation begins. You become not just a human being who occasionally touches the divine, but a divine soul who finally remembers it chose to be human.